today's video, I'm going to show you how to AFK farm Igris, a secret unit in Anime Vanguard, dropped from the Double Dungeon Act 3 Legend stage. If you enjoy the video or find it helpful, maybe leave a like or subscribe. Not trying to be that guy, less than 10% of you watching are actually subbed, so any support really means a lot. Anyways, let's get into the video. Alright, to get started with this farm, you will of course need Tiny Task, I'll have a link in the description. And you want to go to your settings here and make sure you have always on top checked, continuous playback checked every time you start up the farm, play speed on 1x, and then recording and playback hotkeys don't really matter. Mine are F8 to start the recording, and Control-Shift-Alt-P to start the playback. Those settings out of the way, you also want to make sure your team is looking good, so you want to have, I strongly recommend having these three units here, so Sprint Wagon, Shahein, Evolved, and then Alligator. You don't need them three exactly, you could just try making your own version of the macro with your units, but I would strongly recommend having these three. Shahein is mostly to avoid the stun from the enemies and the system early on in the waves, so I strongly recommend having her, but it's not necessary. And then you need two other units here, which can be pretty much anyone with around 20 range. So these both have around 20 range, and they work perfectly for this. This could be like a legendary or anything, as long as they have around 20 range. So yeah, if you want to use my version of the macro, you do need these three units here, and it will be in my Discord server, link in the description. Anyways, let's get into how to actually make this for yourself. So we'll of course load into the stage. You can see I've cleared it 18 times. I've messed around with this macro a little bit, and it does seem to work very consistently from what I've tested. So anyways, you load into the stage, and once we load in here, there are a few things we want to do before actually starting it. So hold O or press O a few times on your keyboard to fully zoom out. Don't touch your camera at all though, don't right click or anything. Then click the settings here, scroll all the way down, then click teleport to spawn, and make sure you zoom all the way out again, and you're good. So once you have that set up, with these settings still scroll down all the way, ready to start the recording. So I'm going to start recording with F8, click yes on the vote start, then place my first speed card down over on the right side here. And everything you do on Tiny Task, you do want to make sure you try multiple times just to make sure it does go through, if you were to lag or something. So there we go, got my speed card down. Then I'll wait to place my second one on wave 2. Second speed card going down right here. Make sure you space them out enough to actually be able to see them and upgrade them specifically. And we'll be pretty fast with the third speed card. We're going to place them while the wave is changing from wave 2 to 3, so right about now. We've got like a 5-second window to try it a bunch, and you should get them placed down. And to start our defense, we're actually going to use Crocodile, so we're going to place down our Crocodile here, which is in slot 5 for me, so I'll throw them down right here. And I like to put them in the corners so that they can hit more of the track. Just place one down for now. And once we get the money from that wave change, we're going to place down our first Shahein, and we're going to put her down right in the middle. This is pretty much the only one we'll use to defend, so we do need to upgrade her a little bit, and that's why we have Crocodile to help her out as well. So there we go, we got her down. And we'll place down another Crocodile, just to help out defense. And then another Crocodile right here. So if you're wondering why we even use the Crocodile, he has a passive that slows down the enemies, which really helps, and then he also can absorb the stun from the system. So if you weren't using Shahein, it still works because he absorbs the stun. Anyways, we're going to upgrade our next speed wagon here, as it's turning into wave 6. I guess this will be the first one we're starting to upgrade, and we'll just kind of spam upgrade him as much as we can. And once it turns to wave 7, we do want to upgrade our Shahein once, and then twice whenever we can. There we go, so we got 2 upgrades on her. She should get a new attack, and that should help a lot for early defense. And then next we'll start upgrading our speed card again, whenever we can. Now I know I'm not farming exactly ideal, you could definitely be optimizing this a lot better by upgrading different speed cards, by the way we'll move on to upgrading the next one. But this macro does work for me, and I figured that you want to keep the movements pretty simple. You don't want to be too complex with what you do, because otherwise Tiny Task can't get it perfect. So I just like to upgrade one speed card at a time. And then we'll place down another Alligator here, which we'll put down right by the start. And that is to absorb the stun from the boss once he's down. We'll upgrade our final speed card here. Once Once we've got all of them down and upgraded at wave 10, so we've got all of our alligators down, we've got a Shahein on her next attack, and then we've got all 3 of our speed cars down and upgraded. We'll move to the right, line ourselves up in between those first 2 statues I'm looking at right in front of me. We're going to walk straight up to them and place down a Shahein right here. Try it like 2 or 3 times to be safe, and then take a step back and place down a whatever unit you have in slot 3 right here. I'm going to use my Sung Jin Woo. Make sure you try multiple times, keep walking, walk past that torch thing, onto the next statue, which you have to put kind of on the floor because you can't put it up there. So we're going to put it right about here. We're going to walk back down, another statue here. And then another statue here with our next unit. So this is why we had a bunch of random units with 20 range, so that we can put them down on the floor here. Alright, so once we got all the units down on this side, we're going to click these settings here and teleport to spawn. I'm going to try it twice just to make sure it goes through. Now we'll walk to the left and fix the other side up with a bunch of units. So we're going to start with a Shahein right about here. You have to put her on the floor for this side. And when I do put her on the floor, I like to upgrade her twice just to make sure she can cover it. Next one here, we're going to put our Naruto down. And another Naruto down here. Boom. And then another Shahein down right here, might as well. Upgrade her twice just to make sure she can cover it. There we go. And we've got all the statues covered. That means we can teleport back to spawn. I like to try it multiple times every time just to make sure it goes through. And then upgrade our Shahein as much as we can. There we go. Now we want to wait for the boss to get taken down. And I'm going to wait an extra like 20 seconds after the boss actually goes down, because if it took us longer to clear, we might want to wait a little bit extra, just on a different run if we got unlucky or something. Shahein does have crit against bosses, so I'm going to wait till about 6:45 on the tiny task timer here. And then I'll start clicking away the items. So I just like to click towards the top of the screen, make sure I don't click any of the buttons on accident. And I just like to click over and over for about 5 seconds. 10 seconds. And then we are going to get ready to click replay. I'm going to wait another 5 seconds here. Boom. And we'll click replay a few times for like 3-5 seconds. So once we're on this screen, we can go ahead and stop the macro recording. We can save that. I'm going to name it Igris. That was my run I had before. I'll name it Igris 4. Tested this macro a lot. 3 worked for me, but I'm making a new one just to show you guys how to make it. And now I'll show you that it loops. So that was how to make the macro. Now I just have the portion of the video where I show you how it loops for me, just so people don't complain that the one in the Discord doesn't work, because it does for me, and if it doesn't for you, then you might just have to make your own. So yeah, that was it for the tutorial portion. I really hope it did help you. I try to be pretty thorough with it, but it is kind of something you have to do fast. You might have to watch the video over again. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm just going to show you now that I will join a fresh game and that it loops for me. Anyways, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next one, and have a great day.